So in this video, I'm going to show you my drawing setup and how I film my stuff vertically or horizontally top down. Newsflash, it's really not that expensive. It's not that hard to set up either, but I'll show you. So here's a still shot of my setup. Essentially, the setup is the same regardless amount of cameras you want to attach to it. You first set up with the table and then the lighting, and then camera mounts works for 1 or 7 or however many you want. So first you got to determine where you want your focus area to be, which is usually the middle of the table. So once you determine that, then you want to work on lighting. You want your lighting to be like 30 degrees and then daylight light bulbs away from your surface area. So the key here is using daylight light bulbs and having some sort of desk lamp that you're able to adjust the source of the light, and so the angle of the light, because you really want to be able to get the paper or whatever you're getting fully lit. Then the next step would be getting your camera mount. I like the overhead phone mounts, but the problem is they mount to a desk. Now you don't want to mount them to the desk you are drawing on. Why is that important? Because when you start drawing, inevitably the desk or the table is going to start to shake and vibrate a little bit. So therefore your camera is going to shake and vibrate, and then that's just going to translate to poor quality. So all this stuff that I just showed you would work for if you're trying to stream online too. So here is my setup, and I'm able to mount 2 phones, one horizontal and one vertical. And I have them mounted to a shelf that's mounted to the wall via like a shelf track. And I'm able to adjust without having to recenter on my table via that track that's screwed into the wall. This is nice because then I know that the camera will not shake because it's actually just mounted to the wall. Now, if you aren't able to mount to a wall, mounting to another piece of furniture that is not the desk next to it via like that picture I showed you would be the next best thing. So maybe you're wondering what kind of videos or shorts you can make with this kind of setup. I'll show you. So this is one of the videos I could get with that setup. I'm using the vertical mount with my cell phone, and I'm filming in actually a hyperlapse or time lapse, depending on your model of your phone, where it's just recording like 1 second of video for every 30 seconds of film. So this drawing took like a half hour, and then the drawing after it took a half hour. So then you get like 1 minute worth of actual footage. So depending on how long the drawing, then the video goes a little longer, but that's just filming in hyperlapse or time lapse. If you were to film with a regular camera, just doing it regular speed, then you could film the same drawing here in like 30 minutes. So occasionally I will do that. So that's why I have my setup to be able to do horizontal and vertical. I'll actually have a second phone, like my old phone, but I didn't trade it in, I kept it. And I use that to record in horizontal. And so I'm able to record both vertical and horizontal formats, and then take the long videos and make them into YouTube videos for you guys to watch. So some of the key takeaways are making sure you have daylight light bulbs in your lamps, and the more light, the better. You could even add another lamp or 2 to my setup. You don't need to have just 4 lights. The more, the better. The more lit your surface is, the better for the viewer. And then another tip would be making sure that your camera is not mounted to the desk that you're drawing on. And another extra tip would be, if you're right-handed, make sure your camera mounts are on your left side. That way it doesn't get in the way of your drawing hand. Or if you're left-handed, vice versa. If you don't like the camera holders that I have, feel free to do whatever you want. I've even seen people like do stacks of Legos and build like a bridge over their table that they draw on, and then have the phone somehow held suspended above their drawing surface. You can get creative, but I'm just letting you know how I do it. And I like these phone holders because you can adjust the tilt and the angle of the phone. So hopefully you learned something, and thanks for watching. And if you could, leave a comment. What should I do next?